Before he left us, he asked me to do one more thing, and that was to ask you all a question. And now see, that question was, why do you hate the way you look? There's something going on in a lot of social spaces that most people tend not to realize. And I'm not even gonna hold anything up against you for not noticing. It's dead ass, if we really wanna be honest with ourselves, good looking people tend to get away with so much BS. And see, because of the fact that they tend to get away with a lot of the stuff that they do, a lot of people either try to mimic the way they look or mimic their behaviors to kind of emulate the same results that they get. We can see this from fashion to even talking points and phrases that these folks be using.
I don't know who it is, but somebody smell like shit.
And see, if these things don't work and you still too ugly, all you need to do is just get your money up. You're pretty much gonna get the same results as they did, except for the fact that you're still ugly. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, it's not even your fault that you wanna look the way they look. A lot of these people are almost always in your face. Pretty much all the time. If you go on your phone and scroll down on TikTok, you're gonna see at least 50 different good looking people. And see, that's where the problem lies, because when you're consuming all this media and seeing all these things that these many different people from all over the world are doing, you're probably gonna wanna do the same thing too. Now, I don't know if y'all have ever seen how far someone is willing to go when they want to do something. Folks out here are willing to lose their lives just to look better. Like, I don't know if y'all remember, but we deadass had a whole situation where people were going out of their way to go onto online forums. And in these forums, they found people who would quite literally judge the way they look and tell them to change certain parts about their faces. And this is just a face because we haven't gotten anywhere close to what they do to their bodies. Hey, you know what? It kind of sounds like class time. What's good, class? And today we're going to be talking about why you hate the way you look. Now see, one thing we got to understand is not only has this concept existed for many generations, but it seems like it's becoming a reoccurring problem in modern civilization. In this generation, we call it body dysmorphia, but back then they were calling it being ugly. A lot of people just don't like the way they look, and in all honesty, I can understand why.
Am I really ugly?
Sir, have you ever been ugly?
No, young man, I've been handsome my whole life. But what I mean when I say I understand why is the fact that every single person has an ideal way in which they see themselves. This can be situations where people see themselves as even more skinnier than what they actually are, to even their body shapes and improved fixtures. People want to look better, and the fact that they're not at that level of looking better is what the issue is. And see, that right there is body dysmorphia. It's a mental illness that involves people over obsessing over their perceived flaws and appearance. And see, that's the thing. When I say better, I don't even refer to the idea of them actually improving themselves for the better. There are times where people change things about themselves to even just fit a baseless beauty standard. A lot of the time, people don't realize the damage that they're really doing to their body, and that's because they feel like what they're doing is better for them. Throughout history, we've seen too many instances where people change aspects about themselves to fit these criteria. In the East, we had situations where people would quite literally destroy their feet to make themselves look more attractive. To even now in the West, where people are quite literally changing their eye shapes and nose shapes because they don't like the way they look. And see, that's the thing, even in this day and age, we have situations where people are quite literally being botched from these surgeries. And in my personal opinion, I feel like it's much worse right now, especially with the fact that we have social media where people can quite literally see everything and anything. And you know it's bad when not only adults are dealing with these body dysmorphia issues, but children are too. Kids are put in a position where they're not even allowed to be kids anymore. And this is deadass a growing issue too, because not gonna lie, they should not be trying to uphold adult standards at all. Cause let's really be honest with ourselves, the adult problems are actually some of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Damn, I didn't even get to finish my lesson.
Here it is, my test results. Can you hear my heart beating? Oh, the white man's science is amazing, ain't it? Oh no, this can't be. It says I'm 102% African with a 2% margin of error. Why, Lord? Why, Lord? Why?
There are many different issues that occur when it comes to talking about body dysmorphia. And see, that's the thing, there are too many people dealing with these types of issues in their lives, but it's such a personal issue to the point that you can't really say too much about it. Like for example, a man named Badman Kevo.
I've been healing from the BBL and height surgery. Remember I told you I was trying to get taller? I'm now 6'8", but I gotta drink this Sway Hydration drink for the next 3 months, or I'll get shorter. So that's what's been going on, man. Yeah, everything been good.
This man quite literally has some of the worst body dysmorphia I've ever seen in my life. Let's do this in order because the first part we're gonna talk about is his height.
You. Yeah, you, nigga. Yeah, your short ass. I'm talking about you, bro.
John, look at that.
Yo, I'm small, so I gotta compensate with my personality ass nigga. Yeah, you nigga. Yo, slightly taller than your mama having ass. And I know I don't hear laughing from Slender Man. You mad cause you built just like that Cinnamon from Applejacks. I bet you one of them tall niggas who can't even dunk. Fuck is you even tall for? Oh, gentle giant having ass nigga.
Bro went a whole foot up from what he originally was. He went from 5'8" to 6'8" through the span of who knows how long. Let's really get into the meat and potatoes of this height thing, because not gonna lie, when people are talking about height in different situations, this shit just don't matter. Half the time, a lot of women and men don't actually care about height, and the fact that a lot of these individuals are going to do this life-threatening surgery that quite literally destroys your bones is probably some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Oh man. He just returned from Turkey, where he had surgery to grow from 5'5" to 6 feet tall. Wow.
You can never run, you can never jump, you can never do anything faster than the average operating person. Forget about swimming, because you're probably going to drown, and not gonna lie, for several months in, you're literally not going to be able to walk. Shit like this just doesn't make any sense, and I can't even lie, a lot of folks who go and do these surgeries are probably some of the most insecure individuals. And when I say insecure, I'm not saying it in a negative sense either. I'm talking about the fact that these insecurities are eating these individuals up every day. It's kind of like the folks that are going all the way to Turkey to get their hairline fixed.
This is what it's looking like. My head's a little swollen. I just came from taking a nap, so I had to basically lay in a 45-degree angle.
Like, I can't even lie, what the f are you doing, bruh? Like, that's some real dumb shit. First of all, your kids are still gonna have male pattern baldness, and the fact that you gonna have those weird looking bumps on your head, bro, it's not even worth it for real, bruh. That shit deadass makes your head look fat as well too. At that point in time, you're not even passing down good hair genetics, you're just being a bum. And see, that's the thing, I'm not even mad at the folks who do these surgeries. I'm just disappointed at the folks that do this shit for the hairline, my nigga. Like, bro, just go bald, bro. What's the point?
Like, I can put pictures. All these pictures you've been seeing, it's like scab. Now with no scabs, I think I'm literally gonna have like no hairline, bro.
And I'm gonna be so real, a dude with a bald head just looks better than a person with a fat head and some mumps. But see, my fault. Back to the main topic. Batman Kevo as a whole, he has even more issues, because I can't even lie, bro even got a BBL as well. Not only is he much taller now, but he's got that saucy Santana look. And see, this is only just one example, because we've got guys like Post Malone who quite literally are dealing with body dysmorphia as a whole. But instead of going under the knife like Batman Kevo, he quite literally tattooed his whole face so he didn't have to see himself the same way every day.
I'm an ugly motherfucker, he explained. It does maybe come from a place of insecurity to where I don't like how I look.
Realistically speaking, a lot of these situations can cause people to do a lot of negative things to themselves, especially for the fact that we have social media right now. The expectation for women is so high, I don't even know what's going on. Like, for some reason, almost every woman you see on the internet has a BBL now, and I can't even lie, it's so sad to see. Women have to deal with so much social pressures, and a lot of the time it either comes from the internet or mega corporations that are trying to squeeze as much money as they can out of them. It's like every day they're always trying to make women want to change something about themselves. These corporations always want women to look everything outside of their natural self. Whether it be Dr. Miami with that BBL surgery, to even beauty companies that push hair or makeup. And in my personal opinion, they always be doing the most to black women especially. Like, it's such a weird place on the internet, especially for a black woman, because I can't even lie, I've never seen so many people disrespect a black woman for looking like a black person. It's like the world hates Afrocentric features, and a lot of the time they either try to make them change the way their eyes are shaped to the way their hair looks. It really doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm gonna be honest, this situation gets worse and worse, especially for the fact that these kids are seeing this stuff right here, and a lot of the time it just makes them feel uncomfortable to be themselves anymore. Like, I remember as a kid, I wanted spiky hair because all the kids in my class could get their hair spiky, but then I had to realize with my 4C afro and my peanut head shape, that shit is just an impossible dream.
Cause I don't want to be black, I want to be white.
Man, get the fuck
Whoa.
out.
But see, now we actually have to answer the question as to why you hate the way you look. Because in all honesty, it's not your fault that you don't like the way you look. And I'm gonna be honest, it's a really complicated question to answer, because not gonna lie, for everyone it's a different thing. For a lot of people it is their surroundings, to even the people that they have around them. For some it's just themselves. Hating the way you look is a serious personal issue, and a lot of the time it is a part of personal development. A lot of us, when we start hitting puberty, we go through a lot of these situations where, I can't lie, we're dealing with a lot of change. We don't really look the way we look, and I can't lie, we're seeing a lot of things growing in where they shouldn't be growing. A lot of the things that you weren't self-conscious about become bigger issues the more you look at them. And because of some outside influences, a lot of the time it can be one of your most biggest issues. But that's one of the most important parts about life, is the fact that we're able to grow and develop ourselves in every step of the way. The fact that you can see your faults in a negative light can quite literally be a blessing and a curse. Cause not gonna lie, you know the things that you can improve upon, and then understand that in the process of loving yourself, there are things that you have to improve. But at the end of the day, you're not removing them because you hate them, but you actually go out of your way to actually fix them. Loving yourself doesn't mean to let everything be the way it is, because realistically speaking, if someone was to love you, they would go out of their way to improve you for the better. And that's what you need to do for yourself as well. A lot of the hate stems from social pressures, and for a lot of people, separating yourself from these social pressures is what really helps them learn to love themselves. The only bit of advice that I could truly give you is to improve what you can and change the way you see your faults, because at the end of the day, if you don't know how to change the way you see your faults, you'll always see them as faults. See what I did there? But this is the end of the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. God bless y'all and have a nice day.
My name is Buford. I'm a 5 times offender, and I joined RNA so I could stop offending. It worked, and now I live peacefully with my mute wife and my family's children.